riot took place on March 19, 1935, when a 16-year-old black male named Lino Rivera stole a 10-cent penknife from a local store. The manager then found out and decided to let him go. When the police escorted him out through the back door, many anxious crowd members came to the conclusion that Rivera was being taken to the basement to be beaten by the policemen. Later, an ambulance showed up to help the manager with the wounds he had gotten from the fighting that took place between him and Rivera. When a hearse showed up, the rioting crowd assumed that Rivera was dead, when he was simply taken out the back door and let go. This is just one example of how the blacks viewed police officers during 1935 to 1940. By the end of 1935, more than 50% of the Harlem family was unemployed. However, even though blacks were still not treated equal to whites, this was still a thriving period for literature and art for many blacks. Zora Neale Hurston was an influential writer during this time period, along with many other African American writers. I'm here with Andrea, an expert on powerful writers in the 30s. So, Andrea, tell me a little about Zora.
Zora was born in Alabama January 7th, 1891, but her autobiography she wrote called A Life of Letters says her birthday might be on the 15th, not the 7th. She worked many jobs to pay for her own education. By 1928, she graduated from Barnard College. She published several short stories, as well as a few novels.
What are a few of her famous books?
Zora published Mules and Men in 1935, and she also wrote and published Tell My Horse in the same year.
Tell me a little about Mules and Men.
It was the first collection of African American folk worlds. She records many stories that used to be orally passed down. They were sermons and songs.
What about Tell My Horse?
It's a story about the horrible world of voodoo that she wrote about based on true accounts that she saw in Jamaica and in Haiti. Her books were mostly fictional, even though she believed what she was writing. She also believed that there were zombies in Haiti.
What about the end of her life?
She died on January 28, 1960, at age 69. After suffering a stroke, her neighbors in Florida had to take up a collection for her February 7th funeral because she never got paid the money she deserved for all her work.
Are there any other famous writers in this time period?
Claude McKay wrote Long Way from Home in 1937. It was a story about his life experiences during the Renaissance and shows his controversial beliefs on the whole thing. He also wrote Harlem, Negro Metropolis in 1940, which showed the community of Harlem and his observation of them during that time period. Langston Hughes is also a very powerful writer during this time period.
Oh, look, here he is now.
Oh. Langston, tell me about yourself.
Hi, I was born February 1st, 1902, in Joplin, Missouri. I love jazz poetry and I write novels, short stories, plays.
Why did you choose to write novels?
I wanted to tell stories of my people in ways that related to my actual culture. This included both our suffering and love for music, laughter, and the language.
Does your book Big C relate to your life a lot?
Yes, it is an autobiography when I was growing up at the turn of the century. This book shows my love for poetry. It shows the hardship of being an African American. It shows the difficulty I went through in college because of the unjust color line. Racial barriers forced my father to move to Mexico, and he wanted me to live with him, but he only cared about his money, so I went to college instead. I tried to make it seem like I was willing to work hard to get myself known today. I work very hard in life and in school, so many people know my work today.
Thank you.
A famous painter during this time was Aaron Douglas. 2 of the 4 mural panels made by Douglas went into the Hall of Negro Life in 1936. However, in 1937, the exhibit was taken down, leaving 2 of his murals lost forever.
Oscar Michox was a famous writer in 1936. He was the first African American to write a full-length movie called The Temptation. The movie takes place in Harlem, New York. The main character is a woman named Helen Ware who goes about her everyday life with her guy friends.